aren't working, so I'm not going to tell you to call. You can leave messages on the iHeartRadio app or on the After Hours line. I mean, I'll get that too, but I'm not going to give away anything until we figure out the phone situation. Poundcake's back there working feverishly on it.
I didn't even know anything was wrong. It kept clicking over, and I thought people were calling, but wasn't for our show. So, yeah.
Yeah, because one of the big, Keith Kennedy came in and said, are you getting any calls? And I said, I'm not. And he goes, okay. Well, we're not getting something to the phone. Whatever. I got enough on my plate. I don't need this. So anybody who wants to hit us up, you can do it on the app or whatever. Guardians are set to play tonight. Finally got themselves a win after 5 losses. They played the Kansas City Royals last night, beat them. They'll do it again tonight. It's the second of 3 in Kansas City. So that's an 8-10 start here on MMS. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, of course, made news over the weekend, too, in grabbing Donovan Mitchell, which is a big name. They got him from the Utah Jazz. They gave up a lot for Donovan Mitchell.
But they?
They gave up like 2 guys, 8 draft picks, something like that. I'm like, I mean, I hope this guy comes in and does what they hope he's going to do.
Lauri Markkanen
left.
They gave up 3
Colin
guys.
Sexton left. 3 guys, like
Ochai
7 draft
Agbaji.
picks. Huh?
Ochai Agbaji.
Gesundheit. I don't know what that is.
He's a rookie then.
I only know Lauri Markkanen from the Bulls, but I don't know that he did much with the Cavaliers. But Colin Sexton was, if you've watched Cavs games, the last few weeks of the regular season, it looks like they want Darius Garland to do everything. So, I mean, this is good. Donovan Mitchell's an amazing player. But I was reading what they gave up for him, and I was like, holy cow. I hope that you always hope these guys do what you want them to do.
I think
when you're giving up future draft picks.
I think it was a great trade because also those draft picks that we gave up are going to be late first-round draft picks, which is not.
No, but there's 7 of them. That's 7 players.
They didn't give up 7 picks.
I read 6. 6 for the next year and then 6 for, I'm sorry,
No.
3 for the next year and then 3 for the next year. Something like that.
No, there's draft pick swaps, and then so we're not giving up those picks. I think there's 2 swaps and then 3 first-round picks. But again, those are like late-round picks because the Cavs are going to probably be in the top part of the NBA for the next few years. They're not going to be a lottery team. So it's definitely worth it in my opinion.
Okay. Well, you would know better than I would. So, I mean, obviously he's a big deal, and Cavaliers are lucky to have him. I love this story. I don't know if we're on TikTok, the Alan Cox Show. I don't think we've posted for a minute, but we're technically on TikTok. TikTok got hacked.
Oh, boy.
Well, I do love these stories because I always put hacked in air quotes. TikTok is a Chinese app. So it's the old we got hacked, and then sell the user data to the highest bidder. And then everybody will just assume that, they got hacked. Or I guess in this case, just hand it right to the Chinese government for people who care about that stuff. But they said TikTok had been hacked, and over 2 billion user records were stolen from these data breaches. But I always think of it, I always take the glass half full approach to these. I genuinely believe more often than not that these hackings are kind of cover for something else because the data is the most valuable thing about these things, which on the one hand is why somebody would want to steal it, but also why a company could easily say they got hacked and then just sell your stuff anyway. I mean, they already were, but who knows? So for people who are way into the ticking and the talking, I don't know.
They say TikTok looks at your phone, like what you're doing on your phone, even when you're not using it. So,
well, they all do that. I mean, all the apps. If you don't change the settings, and I think sometimes even if you do, they'll still find a backdoor to do it.
Whenever you use your camera or whenever you use any other apps.
Sure.
But that's what I was thinking.
That's how they sell things to you, is to find out what you're doing when you're not using TikTok.
But I just find it funny that people are like, oh my gosh, the Chinese is spying on us. I'm like, you just don't want the Chinese to spy on us because you want to spy on us. Everyone is spying on us. And
it's not spying. You are agreeing to the terms of service.
Yeah.
It's
no one's reading them. Yeah.
It's not spying if you have agreed to it.
But it's kind of misleading. They don't say we will.
It's in the terms.
It's all in the terms of service. There's nothing misleading about it. It's just that people don't read the Go
Do you
ahead,
read all
Poundcake. Go ahead. No, of course not. But I don't complain about it either. What I'm saying is, go home tonight, read the terms of service
I got 3 days.
for anything. Yeah, just for anything.
Facebook, for Instagram, for
They're indemnified against every single
TikTok,
thing.
any of it,
You know,
yeah.
we were talking about Cedar Point earlier, and I assumed that woman got some money, and people were telling me she didn't get any money when that thing hit her in the head because I assume I don't have time to do a deep dive on this, but I assume it's because of the back of that ticket. It's like when you go to a concert, a light falls and hits you in the head. Read the back of the ticket. Hey, anything that happens to you, we are not liable. I was just saying that I think at an amusement park, something falling off a ride would be considered so egregious that you could probably find a lawyer to get you some money. I don't know if that was the case with her, but
It is
TikTok got breached. So.
I want my data back, data back, data back. My identity's gone.
Yes, go ahead.
I just find it weird that literally not one nut, not one bolt can be loose on something so massive as a roller coaster. Like everything has to be perfect for it to work properly. Like I'm
Well, that's
just
why they're
surprised
always
this happen all the time.
That's why they're always running them when the park's closed too. Like they have to run them hundreds of times to see where the stresses are, where the weaknesses might be. And it is amazing that that these things, these are not tiny bolts and nuts on things. These are massive, massive structures.
You just really have to trust that people are doing their job. And I feel like there's a pound cake in every group of people. So there's like someone there.
Are you implying that you don't do your job?
No, I do. But I'm just
Because you
saying,
might not want to tell me that.
I'm
You
doing
knew.
my job. That's exactly why the phones aren't working. But no, I'm just saying I feel like you have to be really trusting of everyone. Not one person can be like off their game today. Not one person can be depressed. Not one person can have anxiety. Like we need this nut to be screwed in.
Yeah, but they
properly.
didn't. Well, you mean when they're building them, not operating them. I see.
Yeah. When they're building them, like I
Yes, these are professionals, and there are literally lives at stake if something. But that's why they also run them hundreds of times too.
So you tell me like roller coaster tycoon isn't enough? You actually have to get like a degree.
Yes, like an engineering degree and some things like that.
That would be mechanical engineering, right? What type of engineering would that be?
I would imagine it's largely that, but I don't know. I knew somebody years ago who was dating a guy who was a roller coaster.
Tycoon.
He was a roller coaster creator. I don't know that he, he would create things and then work in conjunction with the actual engineers. Alan, I can't believe anybody uses TikTok. People out they damn minds. Well, again, people are bored. People have a lot of time on their hands.
We all use TikTok.
And it also,
I mean, I only post things from this show to it. I'm never
yeah.
on it unless I'm in. We haven't posted in a while. And I guess, I don't know.
But
It's-
also
it's certainly
TikTok,
not keeping me up at night.
TikTok has we've been over this. Anything you're looking into, it has it. There's a whole farming TikTok, and there's a whole real estate TikTok, and automotive TikTok, any
But
genre.
it also gets shared to every other platform. So I'm sure most of the stuff I see on Instagram
Yeah.
now is TikTok video. I'm just not on the app.
yeah, I mean, I'll get pulled into that same algorithm or that, the stuff on Reels on Instagram or Shorts on YouTube.
That's
And I
all I'm
forget
saying.
which one I'm on. I'm just flipping through them because all of them have pretty much figured out what I like to watch, which is usually like ears getting cleaned out, or I love those.
Ears getting
I
cleaned
love
out.
Earwax
earwax
removal
removal
videos.
videos are great.
Wow.
So they
Or
have
just
You've
somebody
got-
that's really good at a craft, and like showing how they do it, especially if it's like a unique craft.
That's how good the
I
algorithms
will
are.
watch it.
Because you try to think of somebody whose own likes and dislikes would like fry the algorithm. Right? I know that's not a thing that can happen, but just go with me. Like you are sitting over there going, I like this and I like that. Oh, and I also intermittently want you to send me videos of people having their ears cleaned out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But only if they're really dirty. If they're not really dirty, no interest.
But don't you know that until the end?
Well, no, you see when you go in there and they got a big old dark clump of wax in there.
How
and
does
they're
that
working
happen?
to get it out.
People
This-
don't
so-
clean their ears.
I was going to say, so you're watching videos of people who have just atrocious hygiene. Go to the doctor, which is not cheap. If you like cleaned yourself on the regular, you wouldn't end up at the doctor. having, unless you have some condition, but I bet your ass.
Some of them have conditions, but also some of them, it's just they don't have the hygiene when it comes to ears. They just didn't think about that part of it. And then they can't hear anything. And they're like, why can't I hear anything? It's because there's a golf ball of wax in your ear. That's why.
But they don't clean their ears, is my point.
A lot of people don't clean their ears.
My daughter's obsessed with cleaning her ears.
Dude, I clean my ears.
They make these big, puffy, I don't ever use Q-tips because I don't think you should put those, but they make these ones with big, puffy ends on them.
For kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's always asking me for a Q-tip. She is obsessed. See, she's getting some good qualities from me. Obsessed with hygiene. That's it.
They got these ones that have like little scoops on them. I've used those ones before, like the little plastic ones. And you can kind of scoop around. Yeah, it's like a little scoop.
I mean,
just a little tiny scoop.
Scoop chips are made to take giant scoops of
no, this is like
toppings out. Why you
it's a little bit bigger than, I mean, it is that big. It's so tiny, but it's just something.
It's made from tortilla chips, which is the biggest downfall of the product. But what are you going to do?
Because you get the salt and the grain and you get everything in there.
Yeah.
It hurts.
It attracts rats.
Your ears start to smell like a Super Bowl party. Attracting the rats.
That's what attracted my girlfriend.
Your Super Bowl party?
She's like, your ears smell like a Super Bowl party.
Oh.
My favorite time of year.
Speaking of which, by the way, Terry the Goat will be returning for season 4 here on the show. I heard from Al Marcinek out at Marcinek Farms. He's out there. He's our one bureau chief in Carlton, Pennsylvania, and he's had a goat that has given us our week-to-week football picks. Now, this is going to be the first season in which Bill will not be concerned about the fortunes of the Cleveland Browns. Nope. He is an L.A. Chargers fan. What do they say?
Bolt up.
Bolt up.
Bolt up. And I think that's what the Cedar Point says, too, after they have to pay any settlement now.
Bolt up.
Bolt up.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. They're supposed to torque those bolts down regularly, people are telling me.
I guess it was an L bracket, too, that hit, not a bolt.
Yeah, Alan.
Well, you know what I mean, a piece of metal, like something the size of somebody's hand. If that comes off the top rung, you're going to be in bad shape.
Mary, are you choosing another team, or are you just not going to pay attention to
I'm just not really paying attention. I like Nick Chubb, which is what's annoying, so I probably will watch more of the Browns than I'd like to say. I'm just like, man, I wish he would just pick a different team. I wish
pick a different team.
Seriously.
Hasta la vista, baby! Nick Chubb touchdown!
But you weren't like in the Muni lot on a Sunday morning, head to toe orange and brown anyway.
Football is my favorite sport. I watch the Browns every Sunday, like to the point it annoyed my sister because she would ask me to do things during Browns games and I'd be like, I can't. 10-1, you know that this is what I do. I'm sorry, 1-4, this is what I do. I go watch the Browns on a Sunday. I will hang out with you before. I will hang out with you after, unless you want to come to the bar with me or come to my home.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. So I've always been a huge football fan, but yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm excited because the Cox Out pre-games are starting up. Right down the road here at the Ivy. I do those before all the Browns home games. September the 18th is the first one. What's that?
I said, that's so convenient.
Just to well, he's not going to be working on Sundays.
I don't live down here, right? I mean, I'll
How's it convenient?
Well, I will. To his point, I'll park here and walk over.
That's what I meant.
It's like a 9-mile walk, bro.
Instead of
like a mile,
like 15-minute walk.
Get it together.
It's you get a good walk before you go over and start having some pops. And then I'll walk back. That's good too. More. Of course.
We took the kids, me and my boyfriend, his daughter, and my sister and her 2 kids to some like indoor play thing on the east side. Play Day Cafe, I think it's called.
Yes, we've been out there.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But I did 1 lap chasing those children around, and I thought I was going to have my heart rate was 167 beats per minute.
I thought you were working out.
I have done yoga 1 time.
We're working on something. We got something in the.
It's starting this week.
Are you meeting with Ricky this week?
I don't know yet. Okay. We've been talking to a personal trainer on Instagram, but I also have a yoga pass that I bought that I don't use. But yeah, I came back and sat down, and my boyfriend and my sister both looked at me. They're like, "Dude, are you okay?" And I showed them my heart rate. I was like, "I gotta stay out of there. I can't be in the tunnels right now."
Aerobic exercise is not for me. Alan, my algorithm has no clue who I am. I'm not on TikTok or Instagram and haven't liked anything on Facebook since high school. So whenever I watch streaming services, I get ads in Spanish, English. I get them for dating apps, for married couples all over the board. This is my crowning achievement in life. They cannot get a read on me. That's good. I mean, again, if I weren't in showbiz, I would be doing that too. But we all have to be on these things. Alan, my company manufactures high-pressure hydraulic hoses, 50,000 PSI. If we make a mistake, people die. We've been in the business 50 years, no problems. The world is full of capable people, despite what Poundcake thinks. I certainly wouldn't hire him.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think he would apply to your high-pressure why can't I say that? High-pressure hydraulic hose company.
Absolutely not. And I'm.
There are all kinds of capable people. It's just they're not ones that seemingly get much attention. Maybe that's the way they like it. I would like capable people to get lots more attention, is what I'm saying.
But the world is also full of stupid people. Everyone knows that the world's full of stupid people.
No.
So meet me at the mission.
You get the pistols and I'll get the pesos?
That seems fair.
That seems fair. That's right. Why can't they watch the games since whatever is nuts is suspended? Why not watch those games?
It's about
Making
the
a
team.
personal choice.
It's about the owners being D-bags.
Making
the
a personal
owners,
choice.
And I'm not cheering for that guy when he comes back. I'm not going to, I wash my hands of the team. The fact that they traded for him just
For
made me,
so much money.
so
That's
much
my
money,
thing, that
yeah.
they could have done so much with the franchise for $230 million. And they wasted it for a guy who's not even going to play, 5 games this year?
he's
like-
he's going to play, I think, 11 game suspension. So,
So 5
6
games.
6 games.
6
Because they're
games.
17 now.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Is it?
Is it, Alan?
Is it really?
Alan?
Well, listen, maybe you want to point your,
And again, if you cheer for them, that's fine. People always come at me and they go, "Oh, you."
It's
I don't
just
care what
your
you do.
personal
It's just
choice.
my personal choice.
That's right.
I don't want to. I don't want to
Speaking of
support 'em
TikTok,
anymore.
I was reading about, I don't know if anybody knows who Tanya Parzati is. Tanya Pardazzi, sorry. She's 21. She had a pretty sizable following on TikTok. Her first solo skydive, though, she didn't make it.
Oh.
What?
Dang, dude.
She's 21. This is at Skydive Toronto. She was a TikTok influencer, and this was her first solo jump. And apparently she released one of her shoots too low. You know, if you've ever skydived,
Skydove.
if you've ever done this, I did it one time. If you've ever done this, they give you a lot of scenarios, and there's a lot of things, obviously, that you need to learn. There's safety courses, and, I never did a solo jump. I only went a tandem jump, but you have to have all these fundamentals to do your first solo skydive. You got to know the equipment inside and out. You have to know how to jump out of the airplane. That's a specific thing. And she released her a parachute at too low of an altitude. And she was a philosophy student at UT, and she was a semifinalist for Miss Canada. And one of her friends said that she loved anything that was new and adventurous. Her friend said life was too boring for her. So at least she's not bored anymore. But imagine being bored by life.
She's dead.
Life is too boring for her. Being alive, not much to it, really. I mean, what else is there?
That's one of those things where when I would date certain people, they would have that fear, like, I don't want to be one of those boring people. I'm like, I don't think boring is what you think it is. I think Mary was kind of that when you were drinking.
I was boring?
No, you were afraid of boredom.
I thought
Of
I
being
was
bored.
a lot more interesting than I was. I thought because I went
Most
out
people
and
think they're
partied,
more
Yeah.
interesting than they are.
I am a cool party girl who's like mysterious, and everybody's so interested in me, and nobody was interested in me, and I blacked out and slept on toilets.
Right. There's no
So-
mystery to that.
No mystery.
No mystery.
And
But
there's
that-
girls that I would date, and they'd just be afraid of being like having a routine. I'm like, what's wrong with the routines? Are great.
Routines are scary because it's so predictable that you feel like you're going to fall into a cycle that you'll never get out of. That you're just going to do the same thing over and over again, and then there's no excitement to life anymore.
Right, but those are, at best, they can be temporary, too. You can stop
Yeah.
your routines at any time. I think it's people that don't have enough faith in their own personality. a lot of people should not have faith in their personality, but improve your personality. You can do that too. It's not even possible.
He's one of those do what I say, not what I do people.
That's right. I'm not nearly as interesting as I think I am, and it didn't stop me. I got to take a break. If you want to text 35192 to do